Sam and Colby have been the subject of a huge controversy recently, and actually, I think this is the most controversial paranormal series to ever be posted to YouTube. Sam and Colby typically have the best paranormal content on the internet, especially around Halloween, always going above and beyond, but this year it was hugely overshadowed by a controversy. Not around them, but some people that they had involved with their, quote, surviving a week in the Conjuring House series. The controversy surrounded Cody and Satori and the part that they played within the series. Here's a bit about what they do. If you're a fan of Sam and Colby or know anything about the Conjuring House, then you'll be well aware of who Cody and Satori are. But in case you don't, Cody and Satori are known professionally as a paranormal couple and are married paranormal investigators / researchers with the Atlantic Paranormal Society, or TAPS for short, which was founded by Satori's father in 1990. And after working together on a few TAPS cases, they found that they had a connection to each other unlike any other. Cody and Satori are also curators of the Paranormal Couples Haunted Museum of Objects, Oddities and Curiosities, which started out with a few reportedly haunted items from clients, which grew into a large collection of objects from around the world. The controversy started when the duo's, quote, tapping method was brought into question by many on the internet, even though Sam and Colby had attempted to debunk the method within their video. To Sam and Colby's credit, they did attempt to debunk the hammer toe theory in the very same episode. A lot of people, this wasn't enough and the duo was slammed for the episode, and unfortunately it put a huge dampener across the entire series, with people beginning to question the validity of everything that the boys had captured, not just the sections with Cody and Satori. Things got so bad that the duo even needed to make a public statement about it to address the rumours, in which it states, ever since the Conjuring series was released, we've seen a lot of information / questions come out about Cody and Satori. We're in the process of looking over everything and we'll make a video soon to talk about things. Appreciate everyone's patience and opinions. Things even got so crazy that Exploring with Josh, who has worked with the duo in the past, made a piece on the matter stating,
Cody and Satori, where I filmed with them, I said in the video I thought it was real, and at that time I filmed it. This video, that Cody and Satori video, was filmed before before Sam and Colby released their video. So I had this already filmed and what I thought of them before even Sam and Colby released their Conjuring episode. And you can confirm that by either talking to some people, maybe them, or I could probably bring something up to confirm that. Not that maybe it matters, I guess, but whatever. At that point, I was a strong believer with Cody and Satori. Moving forward now, with all these debunks coming out and how Cody, is caught doing with his friend the alphabet or something even before Satori was there, how, there's a lot of methods on how they can do the taps. I am not a full believer no more. Now, I am like, in person, I won't lie, it is really crazy to see. And it's really cool. Sometimes the taps are leaving the feet. So a lot of these people's methods and how they're debunking it, I can see how it could really be it. But what I can't explain is how the taps can move around the room, that you can almost feel like it's around in different areas. So it's really hard to believe some of these methods, but it's great to see that people are doing it and trying to debunk it if it was fake, and it's cool that people are finding stuff about them that I didn't know about 11 years ago. So, did they essentially lie about their story about when they held hands, it worked? I think so. It's like, if Cody was already doing the tap method before, then yeah, I guess technically they lied about their story. I still can't debunk how the taps and how the methods is going on. That's like, it's really, really hard because in person, it is really insane to see, and I don't understand. To this day right now, I don't understand. I watched a lot of debunking videos on them because even I'm like, how are they doing it? I became a believer because I couldn't explain how it's done. I still am like a 50-50 believer. I don't know what to think anymore about it. I wrote to some of the debunking channels on comments about how I don't know if I believe them anymore, and I owe a lot of you guys credit for sure. A lot of you guys have been doing this and doing that, kind of showing like, hey, like, this is not real or it cannot be real. Let me show you methods on how they're doing it. And maybe one of those methods, maybe they're ankle tapping or cracking their toes, is causing a lot of that, and we don't know it, or I don't know it. But I can't say they're not real because of these videos, because we're not seeing it. Like, I'm not proving it. We didn't expose them. I couldn't actually see it done like that. You know, I just see them doing it, and it looks real. And to me, it's like, dude, it's insane. Again, if they're doing, you know, they're cracking their ankles on the floor, why is the tap still leaving and spreading away? Because it's been done a lot, where it's like, oh, you're entering the room, and I hear it coming into a room. So I'm not saying they're fake, but I'm not a full believer that I was in at all. Now, here's the thing. If they can do it without their shoes on now, completely off, showing their feet, I will be a full believer. Because I want to believe. I do want to believe. I want to believe that they weren't lying to me. Not just now, but even back then 4 years ago when we filmed before. So I want to believe. But I'm no longer, my guard is now up. And it's just going to stay up until I can see it done without their shoes on or something to prove it. I need more. Now, I'm not saying they're not real, but it is now on this level where I'm like, oh, dang, that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, is it not real? I don't know. But again, so that's my thoughts on the Cody and Satori thing.
This wasn't the end. In fact, it was just the beginning. Satori's father, famous paranormal investigator Jason Hawes, even came to speak out to defend the duo. Yeah, with Satori's father, Jason Hawes, head of the TAPS group and a prevalent feature in hit TV shows like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunter, speaks out to try and defend his daughter and son-in-law after there's been countless accusations made about them over the past few weeks. If you haven't seen the story so far, you can watch this video that we made a couple of days ago, which will get you up to speed on what we currently know. Coming back to today though, Satori's father, Jason, uploaded a video to his YouTube channel titled Jason Hawes, and the video was titled My Response to the Cody and Satori Controversy. From the get-go, Jason starts out by summarising what's gone on so far and what's led him to make this video.
Hey everybody, I wanted to address some controversy that's been kicking up online recently.
And what's interesting here is he's actually been, he's played devil's advocate straight off the bat. He said, yeah, challenge everything in the paranormal, challenge it all. So he's set a precedence there, and he's kind of started as he's meant to go on. He then goes on to speak about how, though he advocates for other explanations, some people take things too far.
So my daughter, Satori, my youngest daughter, and Cody did some videos with Sam and Colby, which seem like great guys. And they filmed some videos that aired over a few weeks. They were doing their technique, which they've been doing for years, where they hold hands, they get knocking, and they count through the letters of the alphabet and go from there. So the videos came out, they were very well received. But of course, where there's positive, there's always some negative that shows up, which is fine. I mean, I've always said, look deeper, look for the real explanation, try to figure out what's truly going on, and it's great. But I think some people, instead of doing that, have gone straight to the negative aspect, the full-blown attacks. You know, you're liars, you're frauds, you're scam artists, you're popping joints just like the Fox sisters used to. So, people can say whatever they want. Of course, that's just the way the world is. But the fact of the matter is, you have to be there to experience the activity. You have to be there to experience these knocks. They're not popping joints. We've set up we set up vibration sensors and other devices. But when you're there in the moment and they're doing this, these knocks are coming from all around. And sometimes you can hear what sounds like somebody walking from one room to another towards you in a series of knocks. That's not popping joints. So all I'm saying is, bottom line, look deeper, dig deeper, look for the real explanation. But I think there just doesn't need to be such negativity, such personal attacks.
And this actually echoes exactly what Kalani and Exploring with Josh said in that most recent video that Josh uploaded only a couple of days ago about things kind of going too far, going beyond the content. and actually becoming a bit more personal. Jason then goes on to explain his experiences from his background in multiple TV shows.
As a guy who's done TV for 20 plus years, I don't think I was prepared. So when the show came out, Ghost Hunters, it was a top watch paranormal show, still to this day holds a record for the highest watched paranormal show out there. And the fact of the matter is, most people loved it, but there were some out there who were against it, and that was fine. I mean, some of those people are dear friends of mine to this day. They didn't have to be supporters of what I did. But then there were some out there who pretty much made it personal attacks, who would say just negative things about you, attack the way you looked or your character, or no matter what, you were a fraud, you were a scam artist. And these things hurt because you put yourself out there in the public's eye, trying to further something, trying to further a field and try to figure out real answers. I mean, we didn't want to do the show in the beginning. We figured eventually somebody was going to, so how were they going to represent the field? So that was a driving factor for us to agree to do Ghost Hunters. And to be personally attacked like that and have everything you do, your credibility, the way you look, called into question, it's horrible. I mean, no matter who you are, it hurts, bottom line.
And again, this sentiment was also shared by Josh and Kalani in that most recent video about people's personalities, people's physical appearances and attributes being brought into question, not just the content that's being supposedly taken issue with. It's actually going so much further than that, and it's becoming very personable, and it's just not what they set out to supposedly have an initial issue with. Jason then goes on to speak from a father's point of view and continues to play devil's advocate by saying to always look for another perspective.
And now there are those out there who want to do that towards Satori and Cody. And you know what? Question everything, always look for an answer, but you don't have to be just downright mean. You don't have, there's no way you can even have a conversation about something if the only thing you want to say is you're a fraud, you're a liar, you're a scam artist. It's ridiculous. You don't even allow the opportunity to talk back and forth about it, to open dialogue, because you're so filled with hate, and now you've put that person in such a defense mode that they don't want to talk with you anyways, or they just don't want to do anything. They don't want to even be involved in the field anymore. I mean, so you're not helping, you're hurting. And to be honest, let's be honest, there's no reason that you need to be such an asshole from behind a keyboard. Show some respect. At least these people put themselves out there knowing damn well that they were going to be scrutinized, they were going to be questioned. But they didn't put themselves out there expecting some of those negative personal attacks. I don't think anybody would do that willingly. And you've got these YouTubers, you've got people on TV that truly are trying to do things. They're trying to further this field, and they're not prepared for that. So I mean, you want to sit behind a keyboard and tear somebody apart? That makes you feel good? Well, then those people are not the problem. You are. And you need to look in the mirror on that one. So all I'm asking is be more respectful. Yes, she's my kid. And am I saying this because she's my kid? It definitely enticed me to make this video. Because I don't think anybody should be like that towards anyone. There's enough hate in this world. You don't need to spew it from behind a computer just constantly, just to make yourself feel better. I mean, geez, nobody needs to be a douchebag 24/7. But I do have to say, if you're spending your hours during a day sitting behind a keyboard looking for things to say negative about somebody or looking to tear somebody apart, then they're not the problem. The problem is you.
But the backlash was so bad that Cody and Satori had no choice but to respond to the controversy. Cody and Satori saga continues as after what seems like an endless outcry on the internet, the duo under fire have finally responded over on their YouTube channel, where they dropped the video Satori and Cody Our Response. They begin this video by stating that they are completely aware of the online outcry, but also state that they believe the positive has outweighed the negative. I don't know if that's how I put it, but here's how it started.
Hey, this is Cody.
And I'm Satori.
And we are better known as the Paranormal Couple.
We are paranormal investigators both on and off camera. You might have seen us appear on shows like Ghost Nation, Ghost Hunters, and you might have seen us appear on some recent videos on social media and YouTube and things like that. Besides all of that, we are also able to, in a really weird way, communicate with the other side.
Satori and I found that when we first met, when we hold hands or embrace in some way, we have direct, constant contact with the spirit world that still blows our mind till this day.
First off, we want to start this video by just saying we are absolutely amazed by the positive feedback we are getting. We knew we were going to get both positive and negative feedback, but so far the positive has completely outweighed the negative, and for that we just really want to say thank you guys for looking into us, researching us, and bringing any sort of comments, questions, or concerns to us.
We really appreciate it.
They then go on to talk about the theories that people have had on how they might be doing the knocks, and they try and put these suggestions to bed.
First off, we want to start this video by just saying we are absolutely amazed by the positive feedback we are getting. We knew we were going to get both positive and negative feedback, but so far the positive has completely outweighed the negative, and for that we just really want to say thank you guys for looking into us, researching us, and bringing any sort of comments, questions, or concerns to us.
We really appreciate it.
We also wanted to make this a video and just address some of those opinions, theories, questions that people might be having on social media right now. We have seen some things circulate throughout social media, so we want to take this time to directly address it, kind of clear some things up, but we want to start off by making sure you guys understand that we appreciate you bringing this to us as soon as you could. It's totally normal to have questions, and we'll jump right in. With this video, we feel like we are able to provide more context to some of the things you might be seeing on social media and help give you a better understanding about us and what we do. We do want to start by confirming with everybody here and just saying it on record that we are absolutely real. What we do is absolutely real, and we don't know how it works fully, and we're still learning things every day about it, so we are not complete experts on communicating with spirits, something that we are learning along the way. Also, we completely understand if you have a hard time believing in what we do, or you have a difference of opinion on what we do. It is really hard to understand something when you're seeing it from the outside looking in and you weren't really there in the room. It is something you do have to see in person to truly understand what we are showing you. So when you are seeing it from the other side of a screen, just know we completely understand, and of course you're going to have a difference of opinion if you are a bit skeptical of the paranormal.
Now, there have been so many opinions and theories circulating the internet, such as we're popping our joints, comparing us to the Fox sisters of the spiritualist movement, even that we're building devices that make knocking sounds.
And we just want to say that these opinions are completely valid. It's okay to have these opinions. We wish we could put everybody in the room with us to experience this phenomena for themselves and to kind of evaluate the environment themselves, but we are physically unable to fit millions of people into one room. But it is something we wish we could do for you, because it is something you have to be there to see. Some people have been incredibly quick to find something on the internet that labels us as fake and hold on to it. We understand that that may be due to fear, due to just honest disagreement, not believing in what we are doing. Whatever the reason is, we want to provide more information and really directly address these rumors to give a better understanding. Now, to clarify the first one, we are definitely not popping any joints in our body to make knocking noises or cracking anything to make knocking noises. We can confirm that the sounds that you hear are actually moving around the entire environment, the entire room. We do have people that have been in the room with us and have claimed to feel the same sound and sensation across the room, while people near us have not felt it at all. And we've also had people in the environment claim to feel it on different floors of the entire building and different walls and windows and all sorts of things. So it happens kind of everywhere. So hopefully that clarifies that a bit for you.
Now, we're definitely not building machines or devices that make knocking sounds. We definitely don't have time for that, first of all, and we're not rigging houses with these machines or anything like that. Satori and I, we help people. That's what we do. We go to their homes, we go to their businesses, their environments, their locations, and we give them answers, maybe a little bit of closure or faith in the afterlife.
And a lot of the time, we don't even know who we're working with or where we're going until we're there. So we're definitely not getting any prior information before we go into these locations. It's completely raw and it's completely natural.
Now, honestly, does this put the suggestions to bed? Absolutely not. Really, how it came across to me was, you don't know unless you're there. And actually, I think that's half the issue. They've just kind of backed up the thoughts that a lot of people have already had, which is, they don't know unless they're there, and they can't just take your word for it, which, I don't know. It felt like a bit of a weak comeback, if I'm honest. They then speak about how they've been related to the Fox sisters and their methods, but claim that there are a lot of things that the Fox sisters did that they cannot and will not ever do.
And on the Fox sisters, a lot of people throughout paranormal history and even today try to communicate with spirit via the sound of knocking and rapping noises. There's literally equipment that is designed to take the vibration of knocking or banging and associate it with letters. So it's definitely not a unique form of communication that hasn't been done before. There are a lot of similarities and differences between us and the Fox sisters. If you do your research, you will find that by certain accounts, the Fox sisters wouldn't let people see under their long skirts at their feet, or in certain lighting or from under tables. By certain accounts, there's also certain accounts that they would only do this for money. They would tell the future, things like that. So there are a lot of things that the Fox sisters did do that we cannot and will not do. So we highly recommend looking into them a bit further.
Now, the Fox sisters obviously did this for money. They were in it for... They had very similar methods, I must say. I've done a bit of research on the Fox sisters, and actually the methods that they had were very similar. They did do it for money, and these guys have claimed that they don't do it for money. There have been some things circulating around on the internet where, they go to paid to events, or paid for events, and things like this. I obviously can't say for certain because I'm not there in their bank account. I don't know if they actually do charge, but I think they are quite far removed from the Fox sisters, and it's a bit less predatory than what the Fox sisters actually were. Cody then addresses the claims about the videos that have surfaced from 2011 and 12, which include him doing the same knocking method, but without Satori.
Our entire communication language is completely unoriginal. It's been evolved and gathered through knowledge of the spiritualist movement, through the use of Ouija boards, pendulums, dowsing rods. There's all different forms of communication that people use to try to spell out names, words, and make knocking or certain movements associated with communication to spirit.
Now, there are also some other opinions circulating the internet about myself. Some videos that have surfaced from around 2011, 2012 that show myself and the team that I was with communicating to spirit through knocking. Now, first of all, I think pretty much every paranormal investigative team out there, if they've been doing this for some time, has had some sort of communication through knocking. Like Satori mentioned, this is nothing new. Before I met Satori, I had participated on hundreds of investigations, and there were dozens of times that we got communication through knocking. We got a response. Now, there's also dozens and dozens of times that we asked for a knocking response and we got nothing. It's just something common that paranormal teams ask for. Give me a knock if the answer is yes. Twice if the answer is no. It's very, very common. What we do know is that when Satori and I met, the communication, the connection that we learned that we had was something totally new. We cannot compare this to anything we have done in our past. This just blows our minds still to this day. We're still trying to wrap our minds around how this works, and I don't think we ever will.
Those videos may have been the start of something that evolved into what it is now, but not nearly to the level of what we do today. A lot of people think we were lying about our timeline. Everything we have said publicly is completely true. Our method of communication to our level never started until we met and decided to hold hands and communicate that way. A lot of people also believe that we're lying about our communication timeline and that all this started happening before Cody ever ever was sick with cancer. I just want to clarify that Cody was diagnosed with leukemia in 2011. He was battling it for multiple years until he had his bone marrow transplant in 2013. He didn't die the biggest time until 2014, but of course there were multiple times where he was touch and go. But we just want you to know that we are still learning these things ourselves. Maybe it was the start of something that became amplified when we had met. We're not sure. But to our knowledge, we have no connection between those videos and what we do now.
Again, this was to be expected. He could not have made a response video without addressing this part, because I think the timeline jump that a lot of people, the conclusions that people are coming to, they're kind of putting 2 and 2 together and making 5 a lot of the time. But it did need to be addressed, and I'm glad to see that Cody did address that in this video. They end the video by doubling down on the fact that what they do is, quote, real, and they know that it's real, and the people around them know that it's real.
The interesting thing is, since Sam and Colby's videos have come out about the Conjuring House, we have received hundreds of emails from people around the world claiming that they have had communication through knocking as well, which we find really neat.
We may not be the only people that can do this, and maybe us coming out about this publicly is starting to get people to try this more and figure out that they can do some really special things as well. We know what we do is real, and we know the thousands of people that we help know what we do is real as well. We just aren't in the business of doing experiment after experiment and becoming a lab rat for the purpose of trying to prove something to people that may never believe in the first place. We truly feel that there's nothing we can do without people coming up with some excuse as to why it may not be real. We feel that we could put a spirit in front of some people and they will still say that it's edited or something is being done to manipulate the situation and that we're lying, and that's okay. And over time, at our pace, we may show more personal sides to our communication with the world and may show you some things that you've really been wanting to see. So, since these debunkers have not seen what we do in person, it is impossible for them to truly know what's going on. Instead, what we recommend in the meantime is to do your own research. Talk to the people that we have done this method for in person. Get their first-hand accounts and kind of make an accumulation of evidence based off of what you are hearing all these people say.
In the end, tomorrow morning when Satori and I wake up, we're going to continue doing what we do. Help people with this gift that we have. Bring closure to them and maybe a little bit of faith in the afterlife.
So finally, thank you to everybody who took the time to listen to us in this video.
And thank you to those who support us.
And only a matter of hours after this statement was made, Sam and Colby also responded to the claims, though I can't show what Sam and Colby said as they copyright strike everything regarding the Cody and Satori situation. But interestingly, nothing else. With a lot of creators speaking out about the drama, Satori actually reached out to one of the creators commenting on the situation. What we're going to be covering today comes from some Instagram DM that was shared by the YouTube channel J Cart's Art. There is a link to the channel down in the description and their original video, so please go and check that out for full context. After they received some messages from Cody and Satori after speaking out about the fairness of how Cody and Satori were being treated. On the 25th of November, J Cart uploaded the video titled Paranormal Community, Lend Me Your Ears, in which J Cart addresses how people had been acting towards Cody and Satori, debunkers, paranormal channels and other channels covering this topic, and implores people to look at things from every angle before jumping into conclusions and attacking people.
And I really don't want to come off like I'm disrespecting anybody on either the believability side of things or the critical side of things or the debunking side of things. I'm not trying to come after anybody. But what I do think is happening a lot right now is a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of not looking at the other side of things, and instead just saying that people don't care what other people think, but then making it sound like they really do care, and they're just not gonna defend the other side, but only go after them. And I think there's a lot of that going on right now. There's a lot of people who are on the believability side who are just really going after critics and really going after debunkers. And there's been a big term used the past few weeks now, keyboard warriors, and it's being associated with the debunking community. Like, those people should be ashamed, actually ashamed of almost questioning them. And I just think that is so wrong. And maybe a lot of these people don't want that to be the way it comes off. But unfortunately, when I'm watching all these videos and I hear it come out of their mouths, unfortunately, it does sound like it's coming off like that. even with Jason Hawes, who actually even made a comment under his video saying, I know it might have come off like this, but I'm not trying to say that we don't need the debunking community or the critic community. Even he acknowledged that it came off that way, but I think that's an issue going on right now. And the debunking community, they're saying how bad Satori and Cody are getting it. No, there are people on the debunking community getting death threats. I heard someone in my own audience said they actually got a death threat for watching one of my videos. And I straight up said that if you guys are leaving death threats to any of my audience, I'm just going to call you, I'm just going to post it publicly and let the internet deal with you. Because who the fuck leaves death threats for just someone's opinion? Are you serious? Like, who cares what side it's on? Just don't leave death threats. Don't be bullies. Don't be assholes. What the fuck's wrong with people? But please stop making it sound like it's one-sided. There can be assholes on all sides of the count. There can be assholes in the debunking community. There can be assholes on the believability community. There can be assholes on the skeptical community, which is you can talk, you can have constructive conversations, you can have great conversations about this stuff, but don't be an asshole. Please don't go after people. Don't make it sound like your opinion's the only one that matters. Just accept everybody else's opinion. There are some people who are just not going to buy them, and that should be okay. Okay, at the end of the day, that should be okay. That should not be shamed upon. You should not feel ashamed for thinking that way. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm somebody who loved Satori and Cody, that first Conjuring episode, and I really want to believe, I'm grasping for fucking any chance of any sort of evidence that they are telling the truth. I have not been in the same room with them. I don't have that behind me. But everything I've seen on the internet, and some of the things that Cody has said that don't line up with some of the things that have happened, make no sense to me. Makes no sense at all. I'm sorry. Deeply, I'm sorry. But please try to understand where a lot of these skeptics and debunkers are coming from. I don't think at the end of the day, some of them, I don't think they're trying to come off like the just most evilest asshole on the pod. I don't think they're actually trying to make it to where eggs and tomatoes are being thrown at Satori and Cody. It's just when you have a voice on the internet, sometimes your voice can be taken in such a way that you would not expect it to be taken. I mean, it's happened to me so many times, and it's so unfortunate. But unfortunately, I just don't think there's a lot of defending on either side, and I think there should be more of that. I think people just need to have, I think internet personalities need to come out and say, it's okay if you believe in them. It's truly okay if you believe in them. You know, I'm not someone who's going to judge you if you believe them. I want to believe them myself. I need more evidence. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, I need more evidence. I don't like being taken advantage of with my feelings and my faith. I am someone who has faith, but I don't like the feeling of being taken advantage of. And at the end of the day, I just don't have enough. I want to believe in them. Trust me, I do. But I can't do it right now.
This video caught the attention of some of Satori's friends, who sent the video to Satori to check out, and after viewing, she decided to reach out to J-Carts directly, commend him for his video, and also provide a bit more understanding about the position that they found themselves in. This sparked J-Carts to upload the video titled, Satori and Cody reached out to me, Satori Hawes conversation with J-Carts art. And the initial contact message stated, "Hi there, Satori Hawes here. I hope me reaching out to you on this platform is alright. We've been staying off YouTube and most social media as much as we can lately as we're trying to adjust to all this. But your recent video was sent to me by a friend. Cody and I were asked to watch it, and I just wanted to let you know that we admire your message. We have been stressing the importance of respecting others' opinions lately, and we feel that you did that very well. We never want to promote any threats, hate, or anything of the nature. We've been seeing incredible amounts of hate on both ends, even with the majority of feedback being positive. We have received large amounts of violent threats, hateful messages / videos, and more. We have also seen others getting the treatment. We never wish that upon anyone, whether they support or believe in what we do or not. We feel that the paranormal field needs healthy and respectful skepticism. If there weren't people looking for answers or logical explanations, positive advancements in the field would never be made. We just want to say that we completely respect your current stance on the subject and are thankful for your apology, though it isn't needed. You have every right to express yourself and your opinions, and we appreciate you promoting a more positive environment for everyone moving forward. So many people. This is the first time they are seeing us and what we do. We think there have been some misunderstandings since the big series aired, and we hope to clarify and help people understand a bit better over time. Our story is a crazy one, and we openly admit that we aren't fully sure about how what we do works or why. We are learning more every day with everyone else. We promote everyone making their own opinions and everyone respecting the opinions of those around them. Please keep searching for the answers in the field and continue to be a positive influence to those around you. Satori Hawes and Cody Desbians. To which Jake Hartz responds by saying, "Hey, I just want to say that no matter where I am on the believability scale right now and how open you've been about it, it was never my intention to bring you two harm. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to say I am so sorry that you two have been receiving that level of hatred you have been getting. To be honest, I never expected you to get a hold of me and really appreciate your message. Hopefully from now on, or at least soon, some more people will come around just accepting opinions and discussing in a more healthy manner without name calling or just being overall hateful, and that goes for all sides of the community. I am honoured that you decided to contact me and hear my side of things, especially as someone who is on the outside of all of this whole discussion. Apologies for the late reply to your message, by the way, I was thinking of how to respond. Lol." Satori responds by saying, "Absolutely, I don't want you or any skeptics or debunkers to think I hold any hate or resentment or anything for having merely a difference of opinion or a desire to find answers. I completely get it, and I'm actually happy people are approaching new things in the paranormal field in that way. Hopefully I didn't come off in any way aggressive reaching out to you directly, haha. Please don't apologise. You can't control the action of others, but I am thankful you're even trying to make the field a more positive and safe place for everyone's opinions, no matter what they are. We knew that we were going to get both sides. I just think we weren't prepared for the amount of attention on both sides, haha. It's definitely a lot to adjust to, but we are pushing forwards and will continue on. I'm thankful you made the statement that you've made with the influence you have. It does go for both sides of the community, and we hope that we can push that message more in the future as well. Much respect." To which Jake Hartz finally responds with, "Hey, at the end of the day, the entire community is a giant family. Arguments and conversations are going to happen. We just got to learn to keep it classy. The internet can be a harsh and cruel thing sometimes, and I truly think that it came at you like a tidal wave. If you are legit and your gift is real, then I absolutely encourage you to help people to understand it. I wish you two nothing but love and respect and a positive future. You were not aggressive at all, and I really appreciate you sending me this message." And around a week went by and the dust settled over this controversy, but Cody and Satori featured on a podcast episode and answered some of the internet's burning questions. The controversy surrounding Cody and Satori has died down over the past week or so, and the paranormal community seems to have moved on to the next controversy, but last night at the time of recording, Cody and Satori were part of a live stream interview on the YouTube channel Dead Air Full Spectrum, and they spoke about the controversy for the first time since the video that they uploaded to their YouTube channel almost a month ago. The video, Dead Air Doubleheader, John Zaffis, Cody Desbians and Satori Hawes, was broken down into two 1 hour long segments. For the first hour it was an interview with John Zaffis, and the second hour was dedicated to Cody and Satori, which delivered some very interesting talking points. Ever since this all kicked off a few weeks ago, all that the naysayers have been saying is that Cody and Satori should show their method without shoes on to prove that what they're doing is legit. This was actually one of the first things that was posed to Cody and Satori when the host asked.
One of the things that I'll let you guys answer seems to be, and I'm getting a lot of this, we got a little bit of it tonight. Why won't you just do it barefoot? Why won't you just, do this? And somebody in a comment said today, that's the least you can do. Like, I'm not sure what you owe anybody. But I got a thought on it, but, why don't you guys respond to what seems to be the big request for you guys, and I don't know.
To which Satori responded with,
Yeah, so we've gotten so the video we did, the more recent YouTube videos we did, we've been doing this so long, for multiple years now. I mean, a couple years before we even made it public. We have done it in all sorts of ways. We have done our knocking method without shoes on in the presence of other people and by ourselves. We've done that. I think we're getting a lot of that because this is the first biggest video we've had, and we've never really, just to be completely honest with you, we've never really gotten that, that recommendation before. People have never looked at us on an investigation so far and told us, take off your shoes and do it. So I think it's just one of those things where we've done it, and we've done it with shoes on, so it doesn't it was not something in our head that we were really working on with, you know, that specific YouTube video we were on. I think if people positively recommend that into the future, we can do that. You know, it's one of those things where it's just like, that's just the last video we've done. So it's not that we're not doing more into the future, it's just that's the last video we've done, you know? So I think positively pushing these recommendations into the future.
And then Cody is then encouraged to share his thoughts about this.
Right.
Cody, you want to say something on that? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's one of those things where that's one of the things that doesn't come across good on, you know, a two-dimensional, you know, video. When you're there in person, the reason why we haven't really done it is because, you know, it's not really an option when the noises are coming from around the room. You know what I mean? So it's never made sense, you know, to even think about that. But you know, like Satori said, we have done it in the past, you know, just because
it's just so normal for us, you know,
walking around with our friends, you know, in our slippers or, you know, in socks or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's something that that I'm sure we'll do in the future.
But we have to reinforce the point that if we do without shoes on our method of communication, I think there's going to be positive response and again negative response. There are going to be people that look at it and come up with new explanations, you know, so there's going to be good that comes from it, and it's just going to continue people wanting to find another answer for it as well. It's just something we can do it in the future. Like it's just something, positive recommendations to move on with.
Yeah.
After this, John Zaffis talks about how the duo helps spirits to get messages across. And because this is the first time that they've ever really been in the limelight this big, they're being highlighted and made an example of. Ken, the host, then goes on to ask the pair what they have for the future, and before they answer, Satori doubles down on their previous message about how they are open to skepticism and how they embrace it.
What's in your future now? Beyond this, you know, what are you looking forward to? What is it that you want to do going forward with all this stuff? So, guys, please.
Well, to start with, kind of expanding on your points a bit, both of you. When first these YouTube videos came out and there was so much attention, we'll be completely honest with the public in saying that when we were getting the good, it was good, and when we started seeing the controversy, my brain and Cody's brain, we kind of looked at this and we were like, you know, it's okay to be skeptical. It's okay to have a difference of opinion. It's okay to not believe. And we were seeing some of this and we were like, that's not, you know, like you kind of get a little frustrated in your mind because you're like, that's not how what I said, it's being interpreted wrong, or they're doing this and that doesn't mean that's what we're doing. And you get kind of frustrated. And honestly, there were points where we were like just so overwhelmed with both sides of it. And we were thinking to ourselves, like, you know, this is why we kept it a secret for so long. This is why we didn't. And I can see why some people wouldn't admit that they can do some weird things and things like that. And now we've gotten to a point where we were like, wait, that's not the goal. That's not what we're doing. The purpose is not to try to get out there as much as possible and try to prove ourselves as some big famous mediums, because we don't even really call ourselves mediums. We don't know what we're doing. We're still figuring it out. So it's like, we're like, that's not the purpose of what we're doing. We need to get back onto who, you know, what we are meant to do, who we're meant to be, and we're sitting here and we're like, that's all we want to do is help people. So our goal for the future is just to, you know, whether it's a private case, whether it's recorded on something, who cares? We're just helping people. That's what we've always done, and we want to continue to do that because that's the only purpose we feel that we have what we have. The spirits all have their own personalities. Sometimes they want to be playful. Sometimes they want to, you know, get a message across to a bunch of people. Right. And a lot of the time it's just kind of private interaction, you know?
Satori then goes on to talk about their goals for the future.
We're not just doing it for YouTubers and for on the internet. We just feel like there are messages to people that, you know, there are messages to people that have nothing. There are messages to people that have everything they could ever want. There's messages to all those people in between. It doesn't matter who you are, you might get a message. you know.
Yeah.
So it's not
The way I look at this now from a selfish perspective of somebody like myself.
What's really interesting though is what comes next. When Ken talks about an audio mistake that he made and how he came out to admit to his mistake, it sparks George, another host, to say that even if debunkers saw Cody and Satori doing their method in the flesh, they still wouldn't be satisfied, because it would mean that they then have nothing to make videos about. And that would then mean that they would, quote, be afraid of losing viewers and likes.
It won't. No, not in social media nowadays. Again, all these accusations that are going on. If they were to visit or meet up with Cody and Satori, and they did it right there in front of them, they are afraid of losing viewers. They are afraid of losing the likes, their fan base. So they're going to continue to perpetuate.
After this comment, George asked Cody and Satori about their, quote, end game. To this, the pair replied,
it's up to, at the end of the day, whatever your opinion you have is your opinion. Whatever you post about us, that's your opinion. For whatever reason, it's absolutely your opinion. We are not going to personally go out of our way to do this for every content creator or every, you know, channel that's dedicated to this or something like that, because it takes a lot out of us to do it even once in one sitting, and then just to like keep doing it and keep going out of our way and keep stressing to try to prove something that some people may not believe no matter what. I think if we are to continue with, you know, being analyzed and doing, and you know, being watched and things like that, if we are to, I would want to do it with somebody that has a lot of credibility, like, you know, certain institutions or scientific kind of things that are more in like a controlled private setting rather than a camera in my face telling me to do certain things. I think that would be a lot more helpful. That's my perspective idea on that.
Yeah, and we never sought out to prove to, you know, skeptic or a cynic that you know the paranormal is real by, you know, our method. I mean, we found out we had this weird thing that we could do, and you know, our first thought is how can we use this to people that are scared or you know, need closure, and you know, what's been working for us is just doing this for people that cross our paths naturally, and giving them the message, and if it makes sense and sits with them, then that's great. If it doesn't, that's okay too, and then moving on to the next person. So that's the way we've always done it, and that's the way we'll continue to do it. And you know, it just is what it is. You know, unfortunately, we're in this game now where you know, views are a big thing, and monetization is a big thing, and you know, you kind of hook on to whatever's trending in social media now. So I think, you know, we just need to keep doing what we're doing and stay on that track. And everyone else, if you want to follow us along, that's fine. If you don't.
So that's where we're up to with Cody and Satori. And just behind the Zach Bagans drama, it's by far the biggest controversy to come out of the paranormal community this year. But I know this is a very divided subject, so what do you guys make of the entire Cody and Satori situation? Do you think it's legit? Do you think it's fake? Let me know down in the comments below. I know Mythos Paranormal did a very good video recently on why he thinks it was staged, and actually I will be linking that video down below, so if you're kind of on the fence, maybe check out that video. It may help to make your decision one way or the other. Anyway, like I said, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down in the comments below. And while you're down there, you know what you need to do. Jump scare the hell out of that like button. Subscribe if you are new, and tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload the news, the drama to this channel. And until next time, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed, and I'll speak to you later. Peace.